Charlie, or was more difficult to find the perfect monkey to play Gigi?
Ali was a star. When I cast Ali a year before the movie.
Hi, Nick. Thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to meet you. And the movie is really amazing. It's an uplifting story and based on true stories and based on a true story. But what was about this specific story that made you to make this movie to a big screen? And also, I would like to know if you have any interaction with the real family to create this.
There's two parts to that answer. The first part is, when I was first talking about doing the film with them, I didn't really understand it very well. I didn't really want to get into it. It seemed to me a very bizarre idea that this existed. But then I started to research the actual, if you like, the history of what had happened in America in the last 30 years with the work that was going on with animal rehabilitation. And I slowly discovered that there was obviously this one organization in Boston who the real family knew about, and they started the program way back in the 60s. And initially they started the program to deal with young men coming back from Vietnam and without legs and without a mind that they could call their own again. And they were very, very heavily into the idea of how animals could help rehabilitate injured soldiers. So that was the genesis of how this thing started. And I thought when I first took on the project that these organizations existed all around the world, but they didn't. They only existed, and there was only one, and it was in Boston in America. And they were so far ahead of anybody else in that research and so far advanced. So over the years, they got to grow, and they put, tens and tens of monkeys every year with people. And these monkeys live for 40, 50 years. So they can outlive the people that they're working with. And the program became very, very sophisticated. And indeed, there were kids coming back from Iraq that were suffering from this stuff. And it wasn't just the physical attributes that the monkey could do, which is pick up a pen or help feed yourself. It was the emotional bond the animal could give, and that was the changing thing that people who are disabled talk about when they talk about this issue. And I thought to myself, now that organization is closed, it's over. It doesn't exist anymore. And it's been closed down because of politics. And it's been closed down because of what I would call a kind of fascist progressiveness, which is the idea that you shouldn't be working, or you shouldn't be working with these animals. You shouldn't be helping, you shouldn't be engaging with these animals outside their natural habitat. And I can see that argument, but I also think it's nonsense. I think it's a disservice to the animal, and it's a disservice to us as human beings. There should be a way that we can learn how to work with animals. We can progress, we can create our own spaces and their spaces, and we can advance together. So I found the fact that they were punished a very bad political scenario, and that's why I did the movie.
So it's always difficult to find the perfect actor to play the role of Nate, but it was more difficult to find Charlie, or was more difficult to find the perfect monkey to play Gigi?
Ali was a star. When I cast Ali a year before the movie, okay? So I did a test run with Ali, and I'd shot some footage of her, in a kind of studio in Los Angeles, and and realized actually she was a movie star. She was the actors used to joke on set that she was number one on the call sheet, and she was number one on the call sheet. She dictated everything. They only worked 6 or 7 hours a day. She came on last. She was last to arrive and first to leave. She had an existence which she adored, and she loved working. She loved the conscious process of doing things. She, in other words, her activity was so charged by the fact that she had something to do, you know. And I think that's true with animals, that they require things. Working animals are much happier often if they're treated correctly than animals that don't function and work in that sense. You know, working sheepdogs, working horses, their lives are around work are really interesting. And there's been huge studies made as to, you know, how animals react to this kind of stimulus, and it's fascinating if you want to start to look it up.
Yeah, I will. And she's adorable. Thank you so much.
She is adorable. Yes, she is.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.